He comes up with a gun and he like points it straight at my head, and I'm like beating on the glass. I'm the guy that's about to stab you in the fucking chest. I had a warrant for my arrest.
Hello everyone, it's Versatile here to be fatally honest with the 4th episode of a 7-part series, Male Sex Workers in America, A Gigolo's Life. In this episode, Joe tells us his scariest encounters whilst working in the sex industry. They include being robbed, being hunted down by the police, nearly being shot at, being run over by a truck, and more. Want to know more about Joe's crazy experiences within the sex industry? Many more episodes can be found in the playlist linked in the description down below. Disclaimer: I do not endorse entering the sex industry under any capacity. I strongly suggest that no one attempt to copy anything they've seen or heard in my videos. Furthermore, I do not necessarily agree with any of the opinions or stories told by my guests in my videos. During your time in the sex industry, what are the scariest things you've ever experienced?
Goodness gracious. I'll start with the escorting one first. There's a few. I've got one fun story, which is not the scariest, but one time I walked into this job and the guy's like, hey, I just want to watch you have sex with a girl, so can you just like invite a girl over? I'm like, awesome, that's cool. And so I invite this one girl over, but she turns out to not want to have sex. She's like, I don't have sex unless it's $1,000 or more, but I'll help you still get the money. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of weird. And we go and we collect the money from the guy. Yeah. And we say, hey, we got to go into the bathroom to settle up and get naked. And she's like, okay, no problem. And then there was 2 doors, and so we just walk out the other door, and we just leave. And we're just laughing our butts off in the lobby, and then all of a sudden, my face just super serious, super white, and I'm like, wait a minute, I left my keys up there. Oh my God. I'm like, oh God, I don't know what to do. So she goes, oh, that's no problem. Let me just call my boyfriend. He's in the car right outside. He comes up and just walks into the thing. I'm like, here's the key card to get in the room. He just opens the room, walks in, finds the keys, walks out. And the guy's like, what's going on? Who are you? Totally freaked out. I kind of felt bad for that guy. But yeah, crazy stuff like that would happen. I think one of the scariest things for me, the guy that paid me to come over and do drugs with him, he would do it all the time. So it was kind of he was a regular client. Mm-hmm. He would pay me $1,000 for like 3-4 hours and then as much drugs as I wanted. And I was really horny after doing a bunch of one time. So it was like a mountain. So I get super, super horny, and I'm not going to have sex with that guy. So I said, okay, let's hire a girl to come over, another girl escort. And he says, okay, that's cool. This girl comes over, and she was kind of weird, and he didn't like her at first. And I'm just like trying to like be like, well, whatever. We'll just go in this other room. You stay over there. But then like during all that commotion, like me talking to him, being like, look, she's not that bad. She was in the other room like by herself. She stole all the drugs, all the cash from us, and she like runs outside, jumps in the car, and she tells her driver, go, go, go. And I'm like watching everything that's going on. I'm like, oh, hell no. And so I'm like running after this girl, and they're like peeling out of the driveway. And it's like a big dually truck, and I jump on the side of the mirrors. It's like those big heavy duty mirrors. Yeah. And I'm like holding on, and then I like look at them, and I'm like beating on the glass, I'm like punching on the glass as hard as I can, like yelling at them, like, fuck you, you're not gonna steal from me. And I was just crazy. I had nothing on except for shorts. I had no shoes, no socks, no shirt, no nothing. Just crazy guy on the side of this truck beating their glass. And the driver like reaches down under the seat and he comes up with a gun and he like points it straight at my head. And there's a split second moment that I just saw my life flash before my eyes. And in that moment, I just let go. I let go of the truck and totally ran over. It was, I was not feeling good after that. So yeah, I got pretty messed up, and I didn't go to the hospital. Probably should have. I think for pimping, I had, there was times where sometimes girls wouldn't collect the money up front, which definitely pissed me off so much, because I would like tell them like, rule number 1, collect the money up front. Rule number 2, collect the money up front. And so I'm like in the car this one time, and this guy didn't pay the girl. He paid her like $200 out of the $500 that he was supposed to give her. And I'm just like, what the hell? So immediately I'm like, okay, gotta change my mode. Like going crazy. And I walk up to him, and he's like outside smoking a cigarette and just kind of being cool. And I'm like, hey, you live here? And he's like, yep. What about it? And I'm like, oh, you're the guy that owes her $300 still, right? And he's like, what? Who are you? And I take the cigarette out of his mouth, throw it on the ground. Like, I'm the guy that's about to stab you in the fucking chest unless you pay us our goddamn money. And I'm like, move it, and like pushing this like 6'11" guy up the stairs. Like, I'm like 5 foot nothing. I'm like, come on, move it, giant, move it. Come on, get up there. And like, the guy probably could have destroyed the crap out of me, but I think I scared him shitless because I was like so crazed.
Yeah.
And I made him pay up. I made him give us the money, and it was just a lot of experiences like that. I had a client one time try and he told me to get naked as this Indian guy, and I really was not wanting to get naked for him. And I said, if you want me to get naked, you can give me $100 extra. No, I already paid you. All right, stop asking me or I'm gonna leave. And then he's like, ask me one more time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave then. And then he goes to stop me, like puts his hand on my shoulder, and I like turned around and like threw him through the bathroom. And he like flies through the bathroom and like hits the toilet, just like plops down, and like I don't know what happened after that. I just like, ran out of the hotel room. But yeah, that was one of the crazier things. I think the craziest thing that happened to me though was I had a warrant for my arrest. Tracy and I had gotten into a conflict at one point in time, and she sent police after me, and she kind of pressed charges, which, by the way, I beat that case. My car was not working at the time, and I just like, I was totally down and out. I had so little money, and I talked these like 5 girls into working for me, and I like used my last little bit of money to like get hotel rooms and like set up the night for like a big push. I needed to make like a few $1,000 that night. And she calls me as a client, and she finds out the hotel that I'm at, and she calls the cops on me. I guess I wasn't that brilliant at the time. She gets the hotel room number, because she's like a client that's coming up to see one of the girls, and ends up being a cop that is like, Joseph, you need to open up. This is the Austin Police Department. Oh, shit. And so at that point in time, I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to jail. And one of the girls that was coming, the 53-year-old lady, I told her, I was like, hey, don't come here. Go meet me in the parking garage next to the thing. She's like, oh my God, Joseph, there's like 7 cop cars here, and there's a helicopter above. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And at this point in time, I tell all the girls, like, okay, give me all the drugs, give it to me and like put it in this bag thing, and I open up the window and I throw it out the window, and then I noticed when I opened up the window it was like this much, and so I could like barely get out of the window. I like scooted out, and it was on like the second story of the hotel, and I jumped from the second story to this tree that was nearby, and then I jumped from the tree to this like flower bed and like landed on the flower bed. And then at that point in time, it was so freaking scary.
Yeah.
There was cops like in the parking lot, like walking around. There's a helicopter above, like circling around. It was totally crazy. And I ended up like sneaking around. There was cop cars that were driving by, so I had to like wait for them to go by, and then like go to the next car and like wait behind that car for another cop to walk past, and then go around. I finally got off the property, and I like run, and I'm just like running past this car, and apparently that car was Tracy's car that was watching the whole thing, and she is so upset. She watched me escape and watched me get out away from the cops. Oh my God, yes. It was like, oh, she was like, what the fuck?
What happened then?
I went into the parking garage, and the 53-year-old lady, she came in, and I jumped in her van and I slid underneath like all of her tools and tarp in the back, and I'm like, just take me anywhere. Just take me fucking anywhere. And I left all my money, all my everything at the hotel. So at this point, I've got the clothes on my body and like nothing, like a cell phone. That's all I have.
Yeah.
And so she gives me like $20 and drops me off in like the middle of Austin at like 3 a.m. I had to literally, when she picked me up, I had to go on Backpage, post an ad, and find a client, all within like 30 minutes of time. So I had a place to go. And I ended up finding this bread truck driver that just wanted me to like ride with him and like whip my dick out while he like drives around delivering bread.
Cool.
I think he gave me like $100 or something to ride around with him like all day or something.
Joe sure knows how to tell a mind-blowing, hair-raising story. It sounds like his life just came right out of a movie. I've got to wonder though, was it all worth it? When does the craziness becomes too much? In the next episode, Joe raises the mood by telling us the perks he enjoyed while being a premium male escort. He also discusses how he started escorting internationally. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and ding the bell for notifications for future content. It's been Fatally Honest. Ciao!